Here we are for our fourth episode of Mastermynd Media of Stop, Drop, and Listen.
Boom.
And we got the man himself on here today, and I'm going to take these damn glasses off in a minute because I am. You can't. I got readers.
I don't want the lights to be seen in them.
You don't want them to get lost?
Yeah. Well, you can see me still?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Imran, what are we going to talk about today?
Man, I'm just I'm happy to be on this side of the camera. Darryl is still in, where was he at? Is he in Houston?
Texas.
Yeah,
Texas,
he's in Texas. Coming back on Monday, so he'll be back on the following episode. But yeah, man, I feel good to jump back in. I got to watch some sports this week.
Yeah.
The one game I never miss. I don't watch a lot of sports, especially, I guess anything, but a lot of Lions stuff because it's fucking tough to watch.
What the fuck are you talking? I know your pain, brother. I know your pain.
But
I know
Thanksgiving, we always got a shot. You never know when the Lions are going to play well on Thanksgiving. And I was actually, even though they lost, I only lost $20 because you can't bet in California.
Which is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I felt good because it was a good, solid game. It wasn't like we got way ahead and then lost it at the last minute. Like usually we get our hopes up, and once the fourth quarter comes, we get fucking demolished. But I felt good. I was like, okay, listen, we won 3 games in a row. We played really well on Thanksgiving, and I'm happy with that.
Well, no, the thing is, and I've been, talking about them all year on the other pod. They were like I believe the first 4 weeks, they were first in offense and last in defense. I don't know if that was correct, but they had the most points scored and the most points given up. I think that's what it was.
Yep.
And they've been around the mulberry bush all year. And when you called me, I told you, 9.5. Yeah, you better take it. 9.5 was a lot of damn points.
Yeah, and if I wouldn't have literally. So it was funny. I went on my phone. I was like looking up the different apps that you could bet on. I'm like, I just want to make it a little bit more interesting. You know me, I like some action.
Yeah, you do.
And we got a lot of gambling stories we could jump into. But I hit him. I texted my dad. It was at 8 p.m. and he's in Michigan because I went to the Barstool Sportsbook just to see. Okay, and it said, and you could lie, right? But then they can charge you, right? Yeah. And so I hit my dad up. I'm like, yo, hey, you want to make this interesting? Just download this app. Let's put some money on it. But he didn't answer me to the morning, and it was too late anyways. But it was funny because I was going down the states. I'm like, Michigan. I had my dad do it, and like my dad could be my bookie.
And see, when you look at that, that's just Barstool. But since we're going to bring up betting, I mean, if you look at it, when I looked up after the prop positions didn't pass in the state, there's like, I think, 35 states that have it. 35.
Wow.
And you talk about Cali, how big it is and everything, and we cannot make a sports wager.
It's eventually going to pass, right?
Well, you think
like as the younger demographic
it would.
Gets older?
I mean, I think the problem with this last one is everybody got too greedy and then they split it. This side wanted it, that side wanted it. Yeah. They just couldn't come together to get it. And then you look in there about what they were going to do with the proposition and with the taxes and everything. Yeah. And it was supposed to help the homeless out a lot.
Yeah, it feels a lot like weed to me. It feels like, like people are slower to it.
Yeah. They're behind the fucking 8 ball.
Yeah. And
I mean, to me, it would be great to go to Santa Anita when the Super Bowl's playing and then bet the Super Bowl right there afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating to me about it.
So when you bet online or you like bet the ponies,
I just bet the ponies. That's it.
And you're allowed to, or you leave the state so you can do it.
Oh no, you're allowed to.
Oh, you're allowed to. Why are you allowed to?
Because it's been horse race has been going on forever, brother. Yeah.
So is it because they don't? Is it because they don't think it's a sport?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So
you need to answer that?
No, absolutely not.
Why not answer it on the pod?
No. TVG. I can bet anywhere in the world on TVG.
Wow.
It's interesting because you're right. Because I mean, why can't we do? But I can bet horses.
Yeah, or I can go fucking 20 minutes.
I can bet horses in Hong Kong.
Is it because it's so accessible that they think people? Well, listen.
Well, that was one of the ads that came out.
You see the degenerates at fucking Commerce that are there all the time losing all their money. Yeah. And if it's that easy, then more people. But when betting first came out for playing poker, I used to come home from Buka or go to the club and go pay for a G heads up with somebody. I'll be in my bedroom in bed like at 2 a.m.
That's what those a lot of those ads.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
but I had a great time. No. What do you mean it's a great time?
You made a few bucks?
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm up. Yeah. But I had to quit because it was getting a little too...
Yeah, of course. I remember all those times you told me. We went on a couple trips together to go to those casinos and gamble. I love the action.
What was your favorite trip we went on?
Oh, good. By far, it had to be the Temecula trip. And I know we talked about this in the last couple episodes.
Did we win, though?
No.
We didn't win there. We won
Morongo. No, Morongo was fun. No, Morongo was fun because we had dipshit with us.
And then he left.
And then he left.
Three with his lady.
Yeah, so that was fun. You know, no disrespect, Teddy. You know I love you. I just want to say
little
dipshit.
respect.
Yeah.
Little disrespect.
But no, that was a good trick was we came back and we took care of business. But
that's the best. You can have the worst day.
well, no, that's what we talked about on the. I went to an OTB. For the audience to know what OTB is, it's off-track betting. Okay, I was at an OTB in Thousand Oaks.
You down with OTB?
I was back in the day, absolutely.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, exactly. So we were chilling there, and that's the one thing about horse racing. We were, I was getting, I didn't hit a lot of races, and it was a lot of favorites winning and everything this and that. And my buddy goes, "All it takes is one," and he's right. Just to get back in the game when you play small or whatever, it is because you get. You know what's interesting about when you watch the lines for pro sports, horse racing, when you see the odds drop, that means someone just put a significant amount down
when
to
what
change
happens?
the lines when you see the odds move or you see the lines move. I mean, I know that guy Mattress Mac. You know who that is?
No.
He just won $75 million when the Astros won the World Series. He's known for being a huge bettor. He has changed horse racing lines. Like you see if it's sitting there at 10 to 1, it drops.
So initially they have what they think based on gauging where the game is.
Well, no, but the game. Anytime you see the line move, that means someone put a lot of money down. Now, in horse racing is different because it's a collective pool on every bet you make. You're betting with everybody else. The track that you're at takes a takeout out of what the pool is. Okay, but you got to remember when you put that money on, it just drops. Because it's all in a pool.
Wow. Yeah, I never realized that was. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Because why else would it move? It's not unless there's like a game time decision where it's like, oh, fucking so and so is gonna play.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do. Well, that's if they start betting it. Because that's how it is. It's all where the money goes. All the action where the action goes. That's how
they got to cover. Yep. Wow. So do you think based on the Lions Thanksgiving game? You think Vegas won on that? Or they always win anyway? So what?
I don't know. It depends how people play. I mean, I'll tell you what.
Because they covered.
Right. I'll tell you what was interesting, and I don't know if I talked about this before. Lisa Salters, during the Raider game this year against the Chiefs, she said 80% of the money was on the Chiefs. The Raiders were getting 7.5.
Wow.
So Vegas, they lost by 1. So Vegas made out again. Because the thing is, I mean, it depends how you pay it. Now, when I look at that and I see 9.5 point spread with the Lions, they've been covering almost all year.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. And you put some good money on, make the points.
No. I wish I could bet sports more.
Yeah.
I just don't like the illegal bookie. I just know people that are not involved, but they have people have their, like you said, what you want to do with your dad.
Yeah.
People do that everywhere.
Yeah, that makes because
that's all they can really do is just like with Venmo and everything that is the game, you can just do it like that.
Yeah. You don't want to have to go knock on somebody's door.
No, but it's back what you were saying about making, bets from your phone.
Yeah.
In bed at 2 a.m. That's what one of the ads was. They were showing teenagers doing it, and then that goes back towards the parenting. They have to block the kids on the phone for not doing that.
Yeah. Have you ever gambled so much that you had to stop?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
I think everybody has it in place.
I haven't played in like how I used to. I used to play
you were all the time, bro. You were all.
But that was when I first moved here from Detroit. It was about a year before I moved here. I'd never been to LA. I thought downtown LA, how that vibe is. I thought that's all of LA was. But I went to Canada because we were only 19. So I went to the bar and then I went to the casino after. And my friend was drunk, stayed in in his truck in the parking structure. I went and played for 7 hours, and I came out at 7:30. And I was like, I opened the door and he's like waking up. I'm like, fuck. He's like, shut up. How much you win? And I showed him the $2,000 I just won. And I'm driving home, my phone rings, and it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, where are you? I said, I'm just leaving work. I used to call the casino work.
Well, it is.
Yeah. And she goes, is it good news or is it bad news? And I said, it's great news. And I got home, I counted out the money, and I said, here, buy me and Dad tickets to LA. And then we came out like a couple months later, and 17 years later, we've been here for a long time.
So you got out here by your betting?
Yeah. It was a big. I mean, I was working a couple jobs. I saved up about 8 to 10 grand. At that time I didn't, so I needed to save up for another year. But yeah, I used to love action. I used to have free rooms there all the time.
Don't even trip. You do.
But I can't get into it because I know myself. I'm what did somebody say recently? Not exaggerated. I'm an extremist. You know me, I'll fucking work all day. If we're drinking, I'll fucking drink the whole time. If we're betting, I'm like, let's get some action. So
you know, after having this conversation, I think maybe, you know, we need to make a little trip. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't even
You want to do Vegas? I never went in Vegas, but I can change my ways.
No one does. A lot of people don't. I'll tell you what the compadres want to go to. They've been talking about too. Yeah, maybe we could put that together. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to just play 21. Actually, I want to roll dice.
That's the best odds, right?
Oh yeah, I love dice. I mean, when I went last year, I mean, I was killing it at blackjack and getting killed on the dice table.
Vegas?
Yeah, when I went, and then I went on that. You know, your buddy leaves or whatever that you're playing with other people, and they left, and then you play one-on-one with the dealer and get crushed. It's time to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, knowing when to leave.
No, but there's also rules on that.
Yeah,
you know, it's hard, man.
There was a time in my life, maybe before the last 10 years, but I used to say I had the best and worst times of my life at a blackjack table. Because it's just so, just the feeling of winning or taking it down.
I still remember the time that we were at Commerce with Teddy. Mm-hmm. For anybody to know Teddy, I hope you don't meet him, actually. He's a very interesting character, to say the least. Tedros. Don't believe a word that comes out.
Or like Mama would say, Tetris! Where's Tetris?
That bar next door. But I still remember that time. We were sitting down, and I think I was playing third. You were playing first, and someone was in the middle, and Mark just goes like this. I don't like your energy, man. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he goes, we got to move. And I go, all right, I'm down.
Or if somebody makes a bad move at a table, they don't know what the fuck to do.
That's the worst thing. But the thing is too, it's like, you know, you sit there and everybody talks about, you know, if the dealer's showing a 6, don't hit, and then it flips it and there's a 5, and then there comes that face. Yeah. Or vice versa. That face is showing there's a 2 underneath, and then there comes that, you know, so it's just, it's always fun, but I mean, it's about intuition in the long run. Right?
Intuition, and then playing the best odds every time does. But it's a game of streaks. Like I would start with $10, even no matter like I'd go like the minimum limit like 10 to like 300 or something like that. I'd start with 10. Then I'd win a hand. I'd do 15 and then 20. Eventually, you do that, and you're making some good money. As soon as you lose one, I would take it down half. Okay, here we go. But I got to the point when you do that, it sets you up nicely to play with the house's money, because then you start playing those $300 hands, where then if you got to split them, you got to split with 300. You got to play it like you got $5 on it.
You're exactly right, bro. That's the hardest thing to do.
You got 14, and the dealer's showing a 7. And you got to hit
16.
still.
16 was the hardest one to always play.
Of course, yeah. But if you're 60 and the dealer's only showing 17, and you're like,
and then there's a 6 in it. God damn it. And everybody, and then when you would ask the dealers over the years, well, the book says, fuck the book, and who wrote it.
You know, when I first started playing blackjack, so about 19, probably 18, we played Texas Hold'em. That's when like money.
Oh yeah, of course it was.
Moneymaker won.
Yeah.
So we were playing like 4 nights a week. We were like traveling. Me and Will, you know, Big Will, and then I started going to the casino all the time. But I started learning how to count cards.
Really?
So I was
on the internet. They catch you?
No, they never caught
me. You did it on the internet?
On the internet, I started learning like just the procedure, because it's not illegal, right? So you just learn how to count cards, how you count up, plus minus, all that shit. But I started getting like pretty decent at it. But then I had to, you know, you just can't. You need more people.
It's like a video game.
Yeah.
That's what goes on with online. It's just like, you know, you went back to intuition. It took horse racing and betting on the horses for me to finally learn that my intuition is the most powerful thing in my body besides my heart. Because if you don't trust it, you don't trust it in life either. Dang. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I still remember one day I talked to my buddy, and this trainer was in there, had this horse coming down the downhill Santa Anita, the turf. It's the only way that course is the only downhill in Northern America, excuse me. And it was 30-1 morning line. So that's what it was before anybody started betting on. And I got there and went to 25-1.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
The odds.
The odds for what?
To win.
For one horse?
Yeah, for the horse to win.
Horse?
Yeah, so the trainer. So it was in the 10 slot. And I didn't bet it. And it hit. And I was fucking fuming, bro.
Because you do it.
Fuming. And after that, I just, and that's the other thing too we talked about the other day when I was at the track. We were, betting that at the OTB. I had a buddy that I talked to him on Friday night. We were betting Australia. And he canceled a wager.
Oh, no.
And then he went back and put it in, but he would have had it more times, but he still can't. You never cancel a bet no matter what it is. You can't.
Do you feel like, betting on the ponies, I know I always joke around, make fun of you about doing it, but I think do you feel like it maybe give you like a structured way to go about it that also is so many,
here's
you're playing smaller bets that pay bigger, but it's more of like because
that was about the pools. And the other thing is like that game, there's no right or wrong way to do your betting strategy.
Yeah.
There's no, it gets very complicated.
Yeah.
When you read a racing forum, people have to be very educated and they have to be able to comprehend what's going on because there's a lot going on in that thing. So, yeah, there's no, all the women, it is bet the names. Yeah. Sometimes those names come in. It's funny, too, when Derby time comes around, I look at everything. You look at, patterns of what these, I talked about it yesterday, too, because one of these trainers is coming in, it's still the 2-year-olds, because all the horses turn 3 in January. And that's the only you can run the Kentucky Derby is 3-year-olds, that's it.
Really?
Yeah, it's one time, only 3s.
Imagine we did that with kids. Like we're betting on these 3-year-old kids. Fucking.
Yeah, see,
that's a new sport.
Well, no, that will never happen. You know that. You can believe that. Can you imagine that? Speaking of kids, hey, what about your pastimes of playing sports when you're kids?
Ooh, love me some sports when I was a kid. Man, I started at 4 playing T-ball.
Yeah.
Baseball. I grew up playing baseball and basketball. I didn't play football until high school. But I remember, like, for me, I remember my dad was heavy into like all of our sports and stuff like that. Yeah. And so he was like the president of like the WYAA. So he was like the Westland Youth Athletic Association. So he was always a part of it. So I really lucked out with a father that was like doing all the sports stuff, and he'd be my coach as well. But he spoke at the volleyball banquet, and he was like, he had mentioned something. This is, it's like 25 years ago now, but he was like, talked about how much we learn from sports.
Right.
And I remember hearing that for the first time being like, holy shit. Yeah. Like you learn everything from sports. You learn how to win, you learn how to lose and overcome loss to then be able to get to, make more stuff happen. All of the relationships you build, team building, how to work with others, all of that. So I feel like I owe so much to sports.
Right. And I agree with you. And over the years, I've thought a lot about, my past history with sports. And I even remember I was cleaning out something. It was I don't know how many years, 15 years to the date. I looked at my home run ball. I got because how you got your home run ball, and I still remember when I was a kid too. Just the other little things about learning rules. We were playing the farms that was like 8 or 9 year olds or whatever. How they had it, or maybe even younger. And I remember I was coming around third base, and I tried to pass the other player on my team when we were coming home. My dad's fucking climbing on the fence, telling me to stop. And and you just look back at those memories and I agree with you. It's just the camaraderie and everything to be a team sport in the locker rooms when you got in high school and just how tight everybody needs to be. And then you look at what goes on now. And I think sometimes when you get these people out there that have never played a sport at any level, and don't even know how locker rooms really work. Those are the ones that they come. You don't know what really goes on in there. I mean, we did at some level.
What sports did you play growing up?
I played football, basketball, baseball, and I even played golf in high school too. Actually, I'm pretty damn good. I was a good golfer for a long time. I got into. I have no idea how, but I loved it and I had fun with it. I mean, I was playing varsity football. Offensive tackle when I was on the golf team. That never happened again. There's no way. No way.
How old were you when you were playing varsity football? Like 8?
Yeah, I was like, no, you know what I'm saying. 8. I wasn't even that big when I was a kid.
Did you have what did you guys do you have a locker room song you guys listened to for football in high school? The one that we had, I think I've heard a lot of people have it.
What is it?
Phil Collins in the air tonight.
Well, we didn't do that. We did I Have a Tiger. That was popular, and I remember we played that during Pop Warner.
Oh yeah.
When I was a Tiger, yeah.
Yeah, Paris, when he visited a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, he put the Eye of the Tiger on. He's like, and like highlighting every moment because he's like, oh, you got to listen to this, but like listen to it and listen to every line.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is some wake up in the morning type of music.
It is.
To get you like really go and take care of the day. But
because I think he's right, because so many people get so distracted by the bass and
or like the chorus
and
all
that. But if you listen to the words,
that's some go to war.
I actually have it on my phone right now. I should
put
it on. Maybe I will listen to that every day when I wake up.
It's a nice one.
Right now, I listen to Bruce Springsteen's "My Alarm Clock," "Born in the USA."
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Proud to be American, just like right now too. I mean, look at World Cup right now.
How's the World Cup going? What's the update?
U.S. is advanced, and that's all that matters. Yeah, they haven't done it in a long time.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't watched. I remember when Teddy and Jonas and I all lived together.
They used to be so into it.
Yeah, they'd wake up like 4 a.m. to watch the games and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I paid a little bit of attention there. But yeah, you're a big soccer fan.
No, I mean, I love World Cup. And working in a big bar when it goes on, it was fun yesterday, because it's just, and soccer is such a beautiful sport. Yeah. And there's so much that goes on. And there's one guy in there that's a big soccer fan, because he'll come in, he goes, hey, and he knows, he goes, let me see the clipboard. Can you put, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? I mean, I'm talking about, this is like Premier League, not even that. Some of these other leagues, he watches it all the time.
Wow.
I mean, it's cool to watch.
Yeah, for me, so we grew up talking shit to the soccer players because we're like, we're playing football. We're the fucking real.
Those guys are athletes, bro.
Yeah. But, and we stole the best football player. I was younger. I only played my freshman year of high school because everybody else matured and hit puberty, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna stay here and be a child amongst men. So I was like, and I'm out. I played basketball for 2 years, and then I just played baseball the last 2. But yeah, my freshman year, the varsity team took the best soccer player and brought him on to be the kicker.
See, that's how that always happened. But here's the thing, and I talked about with one of my fellow co-workers about this. Mm-hmm. He goes, man, could you imagine if Allen Iverson played soccer? Some of these DBs in the NFL. And he went on. That's the thing. All our athletes play the bigger sports.
Yeah.
They don't play soccer.
And it's funny that it's the bigger sports, but as a world, soccer is the bigger sport.
Like we dropped it before. I mean, it's the truth. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's not American football because no one else plays it.
Those world sports.
And I think it's interesting, since I just said that, I wonder if maybe why football never got big in other countries is because now, look at all the concussion shit.
Yeah.
Rugby's fucking badass too. Mm-hmm. My buddy used to play that shit. So I've heard stories and I've seen it, and I mean that's pretty big.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess it depends where you grow up, and the fact that they only put like the big 4, right? And then, but there's other sports, and I guess, it just depends on how you grow up.
For sure. Because that's the thing is, like, I never was a big hockey fan because I never played it.
Yeah, but I grew up in Hockey Town, so we had to make the decision. I played hockey for 3 days when I was 4. And I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm out. Let's play baseball. Because they're at the same time of a year.
Really?
So I had a lot of friends that stopped playing baseball because they want to play hockey instead. But it's so expensive to play hockey for your parents to fucking,
No, of course. That's what they say about soccer now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say that about soccer now. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But I never got it. And it's funny because I said that about hockey. Then in California, there's 3 fucking teams.
Yeah. They love having multiple teams. Yeah.
Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. There ain't no damn snow anywhere around that at all. And it doesn't cold at all. I mean, it's just strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Hockey definitely wasn't for me, but there's definitely it's interesting. You can tell when people are hockey people.
Right.
And with the Red Wings doing so well in Detroit for so long, we were fucking Hockey Town. We were always contenders. And now, like, Detroit has done a really cool thing, because before you'd have like the Silver Dome, so you had to drive from. I'm just in the suburbs outside of Detroit, so we have to drive like 45 minutes to the Silver Dome. If you wanted to go see the Pistons at Palace of Auburn Hills, you'd have to drive like 45. And then if you want to see the Tigers would be downtown at Tiger Stadium, and then the Pistons. Who am I forgetting? And then Hockey Town, yeah. So we go to St. Louis Arena, but now they have there's Ford Field, and it's walking distance, like 100 yards away from Little Caesars Arena, where everybody else plays. So one day, me and my dad, one of my favorite sports memories was the Lions were playing Monday Night Football. It was like one of the first games of the season, maybe the first game of the season, the same day that the Tigers were in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Tigers game, and then they were winning. It was the 7th inning, and then we left And they won that game. And we went into Monday Night Football, and then the Lions won too.
That's fucking awesome.
It was the
that's
best
a great
fucking
story.
sports day. Yeah.
That's a great story, man.
And I haven't watched them since. I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
But the thing is, being a Lions
back,
fan, man, it was like today. It was funny because when we dropped another, the segment.
Yeah.
And I talk about the Cleveland Browns. I was walking Howie today. For anybody that doesn't know, Howie is my dog, named after Howie Long.
Not Howie Mandel.
Yeah, not Howie Mandel. For sure.
Deal or no deal, man.
Yeah.
Big deal or no deal.
And I still hate that today. Oh, Howie Mandel, get the fuck out of here. Look at me. And do you think I name him after Howie fucking Mandel? I mean, look at me and then look at who Howie Mandel is. It's Howie Long, baby. And this guy had a Cleveland Browns jacket on today when I was walking Howie. And I sat there and talked to him. And I go, man,
How often did he cry while you were talking to him?
He did. It was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Because, this man is so tough. And, we've had this and this and that. I told my Raider fan, he goes, well, at least you've done this and this and this.
True.
But, it's just hard. And, it was just to see the passion because it doesn't matter. That's his team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, now that we're talking about some of the videos you've done, one of the viral videos you did was, you can hear it here.
This kid in his mid-20s.
Let's see here.
I recently had a talk with this kid in his mid-20s, and he was explaining to me how he used to be a Green Bay Packer fan, but didn't like what the front office was doing with the team, so he changed teams to become a Charger fan. Which makes no fucking sense.
So that's what you had said, right?
Yeah.
And this was the caption was, how do you feel about having more than one favorite team? Is it a generational thing? Weigh in below. Now I want to read some of the comments.
Okay.
And let's see some of your thoughts based on this. Let me read some of the ones that maybe the juicier ones. Let's see here. Seagulls of Chucktown said, I don't give a shit. I am rooting for great matchups. I have zero loyalty. I want to root for the winning team. That's interesting. I think usually people like to root for the underdog.
Yeah, but that goes to the point what I said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want your reaction.
I don't know how old he is or who the person is.
Well, let's see. We could.
But the thing that's funny to me about that, of course they want to go for winners. They don't.
So you don't gotta.
So you're not loyal to anything. You just jump around all the time.
Yeah.
So then when I see something like that, and I don't want to get too deep into this.
Yes, you do. I want you to.
What is your loyalties as a human being?
Begin and end.
If you jump around.
Like, are you only like based on your relationship? Are you only in when it's great?
Right.
And you're out when you're out?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. Let's see. Here's another Raiders fan. Okay, here's one. Bessler 11. I agree with you. Okay, I agree and add, I like one team and one team only. A diehard fan is a fan that lives and does for that one team. Sorry you cannot be a diehard fan of the Eagles and Phillies or Flyers. I wish those other teams well, but that's it.
See, but that's how those, I'm telling you
and
what.
It's good to be a Phillies fan, Eagles fan right now.
A Phillies fan. Dude, the Phillies had a great season, but the thing is, it's interesting when I said this, okay, because I know the fan bases that are diehard because there's some, if you meet them, it
doesn't matter. I cannot root for, luckily, I haven't been watching a lot of sports, and the reason was I wanted to focus on business and stuff like that.
No,
and
you wanted action on sports. Still don't fucking lie. You wanted to go gamble.
I like the action. Yeah, I like the action, but I just didn't have time and energy to this. I would go and drink and watch the game and get all excited for years. And I have a game plan. I want to eventually get to a place in my life and career where that I can go be the diehard fan again and be on the front lines and just be just diehard for them. But it's it takes some time. I forget where I was going with that, but here's another one from a fan. So Raiders fan, you actually already answered this, but
that was cool.
Raider fans are stronger than the fucking team right now.
But they are. When you talk about teams, I mean, the fans are always stronger.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I was talking to a Raider fan last night, hanging out with them and talking. And when you talk about the team, everybody knows them. It amazes me. It amazes me how people are diehards of these teams that suck, and then when you read some of these comments, But see, the ones that made me mad on there is the people that had no business even know what it is.
The guy that said, Andrev himself, that said, "You are rooting for dirty laundry."
I didn't read that one.
Go Browns, baby.
There you go. See, those are the people I like, bro. Those are the fan bases that need one. They're dying for one.
Damn.
I mean, there were some interesting ones on there.
Yeah. But no, it was nice to get some people's perspectives because
there were some really good ones.
It's not like you were saying like you were coming from a place because after you said that you started questioning yourself. But why would I? So you gave both sides of the coin, and I love that it's riling people up, but it's also just getting people to talk about it. It's something.
Well, no, I'm gonna go ahead and direct this camera right. You want to go this one?
Go here just in case this one.
So, I got a question for the audience. Can you be a fan of a team if you've never been to a home game of that team? Because I find it interesting because I've told Mark, and Mark is a Michigan Wolverine fan. When I was a kid, my best friend at the time, his dad played on the 1948 championship team. And I learned the history of UMM, the history of Michigan football. I saw the leather helmet, the banners. He'd tell me stories. And then when I got to be to a certain age, I was like, well, I've never been there. So how can I be a fan of that team, like a diehard fan? And I just want to add, because, I want to see the backlash too, because I know someone's going to go on there and say, well, this is sports we're talking about, not life. Life and sports go together, but at the same time, I'm talking about sports. And I find it weird when, especially out here, when I meet Patriots fans all the time, they've never been to fucking Boston.
Yeah, they like the team that was.
I busted someone's balls about that the other day. Like, how did it happen? And I've always been interested about that when I talk to people and what they become a fan of. Like, how did it happen?
Yeah,
because I still remember years ago, I went to an audition, and the agent got mixed up. And they only wanted New England fans and Dallas fans. And I showed up in that room, and well, you got to be a New England fan or a Dallas fan. Okay, well, I'm not. We can't do it. I go, let me do it. You know how it is. They have the fucking lineup of everybody, right? And this first guy goes, well, I started becoming a Patriots fan when Tom Brady started. And I go, look at this fucking guy. Okay, that's what you come up with. And then another guy, he talked about the Dallas Cowboys, and he was like, well, ever since Emmett and this and that, and they got to me. I go, well, I used to be. I grew up a Cowboy fan. My dad was a Cowboy fan. I still remember the times when I went to Oxnard, California. My dad would take me to training camp, and then I just went bam, 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 just right down the road with all this drops. I got to meet Emmitt Smith. I remember Tony Dorsett with my dad. I was just dropping names. Everyone in that room, including the guy running the camera, looked at me afterwards like I was God. Because these idiots didn't have an idea, and they were supposed to be real fans.
Yeah.
So the thing is like when we talk about fan bases, know the history of your teams. So, and absolutely. I hope we can clip that one. I want to know about if I'm wrong or right about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really do. I haven't dropped on that pet peeve on the other pod, but to me, it's always been strange. I just wonder about that.
Yeah. And that's what, you're not going to the big house, but now you're going to go to the big house and then we'll solidify. Boom.
Yeah, no, then it would solidify. It'd be awesome. Because
you have any U of M hats?
Yeah, well. I should have worn it today, but I didn't. But here's the thing. Mark here, when I met him, and I told him, and he goes, I'm from Michigan. I go, blue or green? He's like, blue. I go, and we started a relationship, became friends. He goes, I'm going back to Michigan. I go, hey, bro, do me a favor. Just give me a hat somewhere cool from Michigan. I go, give me a cool one. I'll take you to lunch and get back. This fucking guy goes to Lids in Michigan to buy me a fucking Michigan hat. It couldn't go to like anything cool. Didn't you say you were going to go to the Michigan Den or something to get it?
There was a Michigan
you were going to go
Den.
somewhere cool to get one?
Even that, like it's in the mall. Like Lids, that's the thing about Lids. Depending where they are, they will have some like unique hats there.
Right.
But
I wanted something from the big house or something there, or the Michigan shop on campus or something like that. It was, like I said, we went to Vegas last year. My buddy, which I still bust his balls about this. We went to the game. We went to the Raiders store after the fucking game. And he's buying all this shit. And I'm like, bro, really? Like, we got to stand in this fucking. So I bought a hat from them, which is cool, know, and I bought a program, which is cool because I came from that Las Vegas, Raider store. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's got to be them going to Vegas. How did you feel initially?
Pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm on the fence about it. I mean, it's a beautiful place, but I think in the long run, what it's done is it's shown where sports are. It's about money.
Yeah.
Because Oakland's hurting, and Oakland was so much fun. I was talking to my Lyft driver on the way over here today, and he was all rated out. No, you're a Raider fan, huh? We started talking. And he goes, Yeah, man, I never liked Oakland. I grew up in Frisco. I go, yeah, bro, but the fucking tailgating at those games, before those games, it was such a party, dude.
Yeah.
We used to get there at 6 a.m. in the morning.
It's that real life.
Yeah, dude, it was just...
You know the last time I tailgated?
Unbelievable tailgates.
Last time I really tailgated was... Had to be like 2007. When was the last time U of M was at the Rose Bowl?
Well, we can look it up.
Yeah. Charles!
Charles!
Yeah, so we went to the Rose Bowl and we scalped tickets, but I could only find 2 like decent tickets for fucking cheap. But we got out there.
I know, I remember that. You were out here, right?
Yeah,
it
was out here.
Like 2...
I went with my hometown friend was out here, and we all went.
I remember when you went.
Because they want to go to the parade, and we went out the night before, and everybody's like hungover watching the parade, like, fuck this.
People love that dome. People love that parade.
U of M Rose Bowl. Wait, what the fuck? 1-8, lost 12. It was in 2007.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds
against
about right.
USC.
Yeah, is that what it says?
Opponent was USC. Yeah. Yeah, 2007. Yeah, Lloyd Carr. Lloyd Carr used to coach at my high school.
Did he really?
Yeah, so he coached at my high school, and then he gave it over to Coach Gordon, and then Waller, a friend of mine, is still the coach today, I believe. But yeah, Coach Lloyd, like we got my dad's friends. He didn't go to the same high school as I did. My dad didn't, but his friends that did go at that time, they have pictures with Lloyd Carr, like for football and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I was a big Lloyd Carr fan too. I liked him. Yeah,
he was solid for.
Well, I know you had the Fab Five there too. You know.
Yeah.
But so no, that's the deal. Like we already talked about it. Next year, I would love to go out there. I got another boy, a friend of mine, who's same thing. He'd love to go. There's a couple people, so we'll figure it out.
No,
I'd love to do it.
We're definitely taking you to Michigan.
Yeah, I want to go. Yeah, you got it, man. I want to go to the Rose Bowl.
See it here first.
Yeah, I want to go. Not the Rose Bowl. I mean, I want to go to the fucking Big House, man. I've always wanted to.
Yeah. No, we'll take you around. We'll do Big House
because I'm going to tell you what. When you see some of these stadiums, and then you go in person, it's a whole different fucking thing.
Did you watch the Ohio State game?
Yeah,
Michigan Ohio State.
We talked about it too. I know Ohio State fans are pissed.
Oh yeah,
because they beat the brakes off them, bro.
I asked Jonas if he wanted to put money on it.
He didn't,
and he was like, he likes to gamble. He was like, nah, if I put money on them, they're definitely gonna lose. He said, I put 1,000 on Michigan just so that they'd win. But he was joking.
Was he joking or did he do it?
I think he was joking.
I hope he put the 1,000 on Michigan.
Well, hopefully he did. Yeah, and would have made some money. But that was that was.
And it's funny she just brought up gambling again. Tony Dimes, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Dimes.
He's a Raider fan too. I looked at him a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Oh, just as long as the Raiders can win by 1." I go, "You fucking took Indy, didn't you? You degenerate." And he did, and he won. So good for him. But it's funny to talk to him about betting. There's a lot of people about it because it's just. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's superstition. And
no, they get the
stuff.
superstition and they get this. I mean, I've been with people before too, not even betting about. Oh, I sat here last time.
I get superstitious as fuck too. Even just watching my own house, like I mean, like
you're the 1 out of 10 million fans that if you do something wrong, they ain't gonna fucking win. I mean, their superstitions are crazy, bro.
Stupid. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, man. This is our first Joe Ro and Enrod show.
I finally we got it done.
We did.
And we're gonna have to do it. We'll have to go deeper on other shit next time. But it was fun.
It's good stuff. Get some more life in there.
And where can they find you at, Mr. Mastermynd? I mean, you got like 15 handles.
No, I got 2. Mark Rodriguez TV everywhere, and then Mastermynd Media, and now Mastermynd Sports, which you've been helping make into something.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. It's gonna grow. Well, we had to talk about this, so. You can find me at Rizot in the Hizot on IG, and then on Facebook you can find me at Joe Rosati.
There it is.
All right, I'm not gonna be like Apollo Creed and Rocky with all his nicknames.
Hey, yo, Apollo. Wow, man, good stuff, man.
All right, next week, guys.
Peace.